Back with head football coach Arne Ferguson of the Western Oregon Wolves. And, Coach, our 2015 season recap, a lot of good things to say about this season. I know it didn't end the way you wanted it to, but a lot of goals realized and certainly a pretty darn good season when you look at it. That's now 10 winning seasons in a row for you. Yeah,
the players early on were faced with 5 out of 6 on the road. They responded to that. We took our lumps a couple of games, obviously, but then they come back and they rattle off 6 in a row, and we play for a chance to go to the playoffs and against a team that is in the playoffs, Humboldt State, which is a really good team. Our hats off to them. They had a great season. So we ended up playing Northern Alabama, who's in the playoffs, and actually beating them at our place. 2 close games with Humboldt. They're in the playoffs, so there's 3 playoff games, and then obviously Portland State's in there, and they're doing really well. I believe they're in their top 10 and looking for sure to go in the playoffs. So that's a heavy schedule by any means, and then for our players to stay healthy and battle through that and keep getting better off of really a lot of games on the road to start was really nice to see their grit and their determination and their ability to get better.
And a good combination of experienced players putting out their best efforts, and your underclassmen really wrapping it or becoming mature players on the field, and made your team that much better during the course of that 6-game winning streak.
Yeah, at Western Oregon, things are pretty tricky. Other people have significant more resources than we do, so develop players within and give them the playing time and the success. It's really learning on the run. We know our strength coach, Corey Metzger, does a great job to physically develop them. We feel earlier than other teams, our players, but it takes playing time to be good. I mean, you got to be in those situations, and then as our players continue to get developed with our senior leadership, we had 19 seniors that did well in the classroom, did well in the field, but really the thing that sticks out is their leadership and mentoring and developing our whole team.
And that senior leadership also yielded some great dividends with the all-GNAC lists and some underclassmen as well. And you guys brought home quite a bit of hardware from that all-GNAC list.
Yeah, we have 15 players that got GNAC honors. Paul Revis took up 3 of those 15 spots. First-team receiver, first-team punt returner, and then second-team kick returner, but as a kick returner halfway through the season, everybody just kicked away from him. So it was more the respect that people have for his ability. Obviously, he's a preseason All-American. Did the same type of honors last year as a true freshman or a redshirt freshman. Then see that out of a sophomore. And then obviously we moved and changed quarterbacks and threw different timing with our offense and really went more ball control. So that didn't quite have the numbers they would have, receivers they normally would have. So to see him adjust and the respect that he got from our other coaches in the league is really nice. But along with our other players, I mean, Shane Kinsey, 3-4-year starter. George will be back. Kinsey we're going to miss, obviously. George on defense, Schwartzlanger, I mean, he'll be back. A huge force, along with Jeremy Moore. You had to throw Klug in there, even though he didn't get the honors we'd like. It's kind of like, well, we got too many guys on defense at Western Oregon, so we're going to give it to somebody else, so to speak. But on offense, you have Bryce Dizon, he did a really nice job. He was recognized, and I'm trying to think of some other players on offense. We have, let me look for a second.
Sure.
Good. Oh, big one is obviously Andy Avgi. Yes. Still getting better. Amazing talent. He's jumped right into basketball. Obviously, the GNAC Player of the Year last year, but he was recognized as first-team tight end with having playing football in 4 years. I mean, that's amazing to see. Then, obviously, I want to make sure I include everybody.
Yes.
We have Tyler Johnson on defense, a middle linebacker. We have Roger Garrett. We have Breon. And then we have Alex Brott as our punter, and West Salem player that has been recognized, I believe, the third year in a row.
Yes.
So we've had some consistent recognition, but also some new players adding to that. And then we also feel like we have other players that deserve that recognition in the future. So we're excited for the future of Western Oregon, but the seniors have really led the groundwork of that. When you have 19 solid seniors that are great players, great people, that I'm very confident in that they're going to be successful and represent Western Oregon in the future in whatever they choose.
I have to say that I was so impressed with how this team worked as a unit. Mm-hmm. And when guys went down, other guys stepped in, and they adjusted to things like when you put in the odd front for them to use, and they seem to thrive on that. And that's a sign of a well-coached team and guys with good field sense.
Yeah, and really with our team at home games, we're playing around 62 to 67 players and giving them that opportunity. But also they're at that level where they can help us. They just need to keep getting more playing time, and for example, we had Braxton come in that for Joe Harris was banged up a little bit, and Joe was recognized by our GNAC. To see that type of true freshman do that, it was really exciting to see. And Daniel Thomas came in as a senior receiver, transfer, a significant role that he had for our team. And then, of course, really one of the best leaders I've been around is John Breland.
Yes.
On the field, off the field, working with little kids at camp. My son even calls him, "Where's Big John?" So that's really nice to see people come in and help this program and really leave a legacy of quality work.
I was going to say that a lot of times it's you and I here with these videos, but you've also got a whale of a coaching staff that I know that you all work together so well.
Yeah, honestly, this is the best staff we've ever had. The diversity within our staff, the ability. We as a football coach, we are not trying to have each staff member think alike. Behind closed doors, we discuss a lot of different things and have different points of view, and we want to have those offense and defensively and special teams. I mean, Matt Overton did an extremely good job with special teams. Brian Harris modified his offense as many times as he needed to with the talent that we have to maximize our kids' ability. And I feel our coaches develop and maximize our players' ability better than anybody in our conference. We just need to take that next step. We've been second quite a lot. We just need to take that next step, but we're getting closer and closer to that era.
I have to say, as from a broadcaster standpoint, there was a lot of exciting football. Of course, the 6-game winning streak makes it easy to feel excited about it. But so many good players, outstanding young men, those that are leaving the program, and then the underclassmen have been taught so well by those seniors leaving.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see players that come in and how they develop, and the school does a really good job of making sure they do well academically, but also our town does a really nice job. It's a very safe town. It's a town where kids can be successful and work on the things that they need to do in the classroom and on the field to be successful and not have distractions. And also, for the highlight of the season, I mean, Jason Slower just told me the other day, he's reading an article in Alabama where we beat up Northern Alabama, the miracle in Monmouth. So to see those type of things and appreciated throughout the United States is really exciting.
It seems like a great note to end on. Coach Arne Ferguson, I really enjoyed this 2015 season. Let's do it again next fall. What do you say?
Well, thank you, Mark. Really appreciate it.
Head coach Arne Ferguson of the Western Oregon Wolves. Thank you for tuning in to this year's edition of Wolves Football here as our video interviews in for this season. Hope you'll tune in again next fall.